What's up, guys? Gun here. In this video, we're going to talk about the running back position. I think I'm going to do things a little bit different in this video because usually in these videos, I like to stay away from the high-end guys and give you some more of the middling, mid-price, mid-range value picks, man. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm probably not getting cute at running back this week, and I'm identifying value at all the other positions to kind of open up the keys, the doors for running back on DraftKings, especially the high end. There's just so much juice on the high end right now. Pricing is starting to regulate. Generally speaking, the last couple seasons, I've really made a name for myself by paying up at running back and figuring out everything else as we go. So I think that's kind of getting where we're going to end up being in NFL Week 3. Hey, we got plenty of giveaways going on right now on the channel. We love free stuff. First giveaway, leave a comment on the video. Be entered into a drawing for $25 via PayPal. We'll give that away on Monday, just like we did this week. Any comment that you, or any video that you comment on this week that's uploaded this week will be one entry into the drawing. Just make sure that you are a subscriber to the channel, and also hit that thumbs up while you're at it, man, because you know that I know that you know you're the best. You, not me, you. Also, another giveaway at twitter.com/GundackerSports. Pin tweet. Retweet that. Retweet it. That's going to be the link to all of the Week 3 videos at this channel. Remember, the whole goal of these giveaways is to help grow the channel, shake up that YouTube algorithm, get us back to where we want to be. So all you got to do is log into Twitter, retweet that, help me out, and then anyone who retweeted that will be entered into a drawing that we'll also do on Monday. And then we have another giveaway for another month pass. Anyone who gets a VIP subscription this week, no matter if you're an active sub, you renew your sub, or you're a new sub, anyone between yesterday and Monday will be entered into a drawing for a month extension, free month extension. Basically, we've had 6 month passes get sponsored, 3 by Rich, 3 by Russell Miller. Those guys are thebomb.com. That's a $420 sponsorship that those guys put out. It's really awesome, really great idea, really awesome sentiment on their behalf. So I do appreciate that. Hopefully you guys will appreciate it too. And we might make some new friends and family at the VIP this Saturday. The Candle Burn voice chat will be live as always. You guys make your lineups, come make them with me. We'll talk some plays, we'll talk some strategies, we'll talk some contests to enter. And you'll be able to do that in the RunDFS.com Discord. The Discord is an app you can download on your phone, your mobile device, your desktop, and get in there. And you also have access to all my spreadsheets, my picks, all my personal player pools. So lots of fun there. Let's talk about the running back position on DraftKings. So I'm going to kind of wing this one, freestyle it a little bit more than usual, because like I said, I'm going high at running back this week. I'm just not going to chance it unless something happens between now and lock, that somebody gets injured, God forbid, and a backup becomes the primary guy. I'm sticking to the top here. Let's start at the very top. Saquon Barkley, New York Giants, moving on from Eli Manning. It's going to get Danny Dimes as his quarterback. First round pick, man. They're going to give him a shot. Saquon Barkley is his best weapon, and in the first 2 weeks, he's volumed his way to 20-plus fantasy points. Will a new quarterback shake things up on the road against a Bucs defense that I'm still not sold on? I know the Niners game was sloppy, and I know the Panthers didn't put up many points, but I'm not sure if that was a offensive struggle or best of both worlds. So I'm willing to breathe some fresh air into this Giants offense here. And I definitely think it starts with Saquon Barkley. The targets are going to be there no matter what. The volume's going to be there no matter what. And he's just an explosive player. So he's somebody that's got to be in the pool. Next up, Ezekiel Elliott. Maybe this guy becomes a much more elite FanDuel play, but he can catch passes out of the backfield. The reason we like him is, what does DFS 101 tell us? If you're a home favorite, your running back, especially a workhorse, likely gets a lot of work. The Dallas Cowboys are 21.5-point favorites at home. Now, I think there's a chance that this game gets so out of control that maybe Tony Pollard comes in and they start, icing their starters. But let's put it this way. Ezekiel Elliott's not walking out of this game without 100 yards and maybe 1 or 2 touchdowns. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to get some of that. They were really forcing the ball in the second half against the Redskins. He got his 100 yards on the last drive of the game, but he got there, 23 fantasy points for him. I don't think we're going to need a lot of or see a lot of need for him to get targets out of the backfield. But remember, Michael Gallup did go down, so for the Cowboys, it's Amari Cooper, it's maybe Devin Smith, Jason Witten's still there. So maybe there's a couple early design plays for Ezekiel Elliott, but I definitely think Ezekiel Elliott, 8,900, is going to be one of my favorite high floor guys and maybe a potential for 30 plus fantasy points. It wouldn't shock me. It really wouldn't if Zeke walked away with near 200 yards rushing. So Zeke at 8,900, he's got to be in the conversation. Christian McCaffrey on the road. He was a dud Thursday night. Him and Alvin Kamara, let's group them together. Alvin Kamara, if you watch my week 2 review video, really kind of messed me up. Drew Brees being injured early and then them going to Teddy Bridgewater. Alvin Kamara just wasn't a part of the game plan for the quarterback. I think there's a great chance Sean Payton corrects that, maybe even overcorrects it as they go to Seattle. Remember, they went straight from Los Angeles to Seattle, so it's not like we got to worry about any type of road fatigue or anything like that. I think Alvin Kamara is the guy they need a game script back in, game plan back in, and kind of manage the game a little bit more on his behalf. Maybe Latavius Murray gets in there. And then Christian McCaffrey, potentially without Cam Newton this week, Kyle Allen in there, 8,700, just like Saquon. I know week 2 against Tampa Bay kind of let us down, especially if you played the showdown slate. How do you not load up on Christian McCaffrey? I did, but I'm not willing to give up on him just yet. So I'll go right back to the well in a game I think could shoot out in Arizona. Arizona, the fastest-paced team in football. They're going to run a lot of plays, and CMC should be heavily involved in any aspect. Dalvin Cook, home favorites against the Raiders. The Raiders look good week 1 against the Broncos, but hey, that's the Broncos. Week 2 against the Chiefs, it wasn't quite the same. And I think the Minnesota Vikings defense at home is going to step it up. I know they just took a L on the road against the Packers. A lot of hate on Kirk Cousins and the passing game for Minnesota. But what there ain't hate on and what there ain't question marks on is Dalvin Cook. As long as he's healthy, he's one of the most explosive backs in the National Football League. 20 carries week 2, 21 carries week 1, 100-plus yards rushing in both games combined for 3 touchdowns, a couple of targets out of the backfield. So maybe, if you're chasing targets in PPR, this is a guy you want on FanDuel more than DraftKings, but I certainly think he's another high-volume workhorse back that's going to be my player pool. Austin Eckler at home against the Houston Texans has been a massive part of this Chargers offense. They're dealing with a couple of injuries. For me, it's basically Eckler and it's Keenan Allen. Eckler's a guy that's likely to get 15-plus carries and 6-plus targets, and it's a high efficiency on his targets. 6 of 6 last week, 6 of 7 in week 1, 24 and 39 points respectively. Big part of what they're doing. It's Melvin Gordon. Changed the name, same old thing, 7,200. Austin Eckler. I'm a buyer. So you're seeing the top of the running back columns in DraftKings.com is absolutely stacked. So I'm really going to be leaning on value receivers this week. I might even get a little cute at quarterback. I'm not getting too crazy at the running back position. But just scrolling down and spitballing at a couple of guys that show up. David Johnson had a wrist scare on Sunday. He said he's, quote, good to go for this weekend. We know if he's had a wrist problem in the past. He had 8.4 fantasy points against Baltimore the week prior at home against Detroit, 25.7. This is a sub 7K guy that should be heavily involved. We might even handicap some of his points or lack thereof from week 2 because of the injury scare. I think the Cardinals and the Panthers could be a little bit of a shootout, and David Johnson and CMC could be offering similar workloads. Here's a guy that averaged 4.6 yards to carry in week 1. I like him a lot as a sub 7K option, keeping it moving. Aaron Jones looked a lot like what people expected from Aaron Jones in week 1. But they got it in week 2. 116 yards rushing, 23 carries against the Minnesota Vikings. And check this out. 6 targets out of the backfield. That's kind of Jamal Williams' role. Jamal Williams did play quite a bit of snaps, but Aaron Jones easily outworked him with the market share of the work for and touches for running backs in that situation. So I do think Jamal Williams lurks to become a little bit of an issue and a back pocket concern. But Aaron Jones, 6,100, don't mind that. Chris Carson at home. You know the Seahawks, if they can help it, will run the ball. He got 15 carries in both of his first 2 games. Didn't quite get the targets last week, and he's had a little bit of the fumbleitis in the first 2 weeks, so I'm not going to run to him. But he is there if we need it. Josh Jacobs got himself a questionable tag. John Gruden said that Jacobs is nursing a groin issue. It's a little bit worrisome for fantasy owners, according to this analysis. If he's out, you might need the next man up it, but like I said, I don't expect the Raiders to be in a plus running situation on the road against Minnesota. I really like Minnesota's defense at home. I think what we saw last year was a little bit blurry. I think what we saw the year before that is going to be a little bit more realistic, and I think this year they're likely to be another really good home defense. And then just perusing through a little bit lower, James Conner's been dealing with an injury. If that maybe turns into something, Jalen Samuels for the Steelers is somebody you might look at. Steelers offense now without Ben Roethlisberger, Mason Rudolph there. I mean, I bet there's going to be a lot of unders being bet for the team total here. We'll see what that shakes up by Sunday afternoon. Mostert for the 49ers had himself a big game this week, but it was a lot of explosive plays. Had himself a touchdown, a receiving touchdown, and 83 yards rushing on 13 attempts. I don't like dealing with timeshares if I can help it. Definitely think at best the San Francisco situation is a timeshare. Matt Breida, Mostert, and then they're waiting on Tevin Coleman to come back. Frank Gore is a guy that if I really had to dumpster dive, 4,400 for Frank Gore. I do think the Bengals maybe trail here, so that's a plus game script for the Bills. 19 carries against the Giants last week, 16 fantasy points, 3.6 yards per carry. Not great, not terrible. Could be better, could be worse. If Devin Singletary is out and he's dealing with an injury, I definitely think that could just mean more work for Frank Gore. I know they have a couple other running backs on the active roster, but it couldn't help Frank Gore. So if I had to really dumpster dive there, sure. Phillip Lindsay and Royce Freeman both had 13-plus carries last week and a bunch of targets, so 4,300 against Green Bay. They had to get real creative. You know, you can get down here and start punting with some of these hard-to-love names. Latavius Murray's down there as well. But you see, the waters are really murky down here, so I'm going to keep it at the top. I hate to be a sellout, but I don't think we have as much value in the running back position this week as we had in the previous 2 weeks. So I'm spending up. Give me the studs. Give me the jam-it-in guys. Saquon, Ezekiel, CMC. Kamara is another guy that I think we can buy low on this week. This might be one of the most drastic flip-flops in ownership. He was 40+% in mini contests last week. Will he be single-digit percent this week because of last week? Very possibly. And does CMC go lower owned, then maybe Ezekiel Elliott with a potential to outscore him? Certainly seems that way. So lots of guys to love at the top-tier positions or top-tier price levels for the running back position on DraftKings. So give me the value elsewhere. We're paying up for a running back. If you guys think I missed somebody, is there any value guys that you're on in the running back position to maybe save some money, pinch some pennies to fit in maybe a high-end quarterback or something like that? Let me know. Leave a comment below with your favorite running backs, and even if it's the guys that I have mentioned that you like, maybe gas me up on that as well. Remember, giveaways, man. Leave a comment. Go to twitter.com. Retweet the pinned comment, and then, of course, anyone who gets a sub this week, rundfs.com, gets entered in a drawing to extend their subscription for a month for free. Compliments of Russ, Miller, and Rich. I'll see you guys in the next video. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.